Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Member Spotlight. We have an exciting day. We have a new member joining me here in the studio. So we have Tony and Jim from BNI. Why don't you tell us a little about who you are?
Hi there. My name's Tony Stastny. I am an area director for BNI. I have been with the organization for the last 22 years and serving as a director in Northeast Ohio for this is my 20th year.
Excellent. Jim?
I'm Jim Staron. I starting to form the BNI Chapter of Parma. I'm also a realtor with Russell Real Estate.
Awesome. All right. So Tony, what is a BNI and how did you get started?
You know, it's funny. 2002, I was at, what got me in BNI was my home-based business. We sold air purifiers way back when. And our company convention was in Savannah. And everybody that crossed the stage for my company kept talking about, you have to join a BNI group. And I didn't know what that was. And later that afternoon, I was talking to one of the distributors from Minnesota, and he said, I said, I want to be successful as you are. What do I got to do? And he said, are you in a BNI group? And I go, what in the heck is this BNI? What are you talking? I keep hearing everybody talk about it. And he goes, what city are you from? And I said, Cleveland, Ohio. And he said, stay right here. And he walks over to a payphone, if you remember those days. He walks over to a payphone, comes back, and he gives me the director's name from Cleveland, Ohio. And he goes, when you get back to Cleveland, call this guy. And I said, okay, cool. So I call him, and this is a neat tip for people that invite people to their chapters. When I called to ask what BNI was, he didn't go into all this detail. He just said the one question, are you looking to grow your business? And I said, yes, I am. He said, what city do you live in? I said, Parma, Ohio. And he said, the closest chapter to you is over at Snow and Broadview. Go check it out. So I walk in. It was a Denny's restaurant. It was 7 a.m. in the morning. I'd never been. So my home-based business I was building, I was doing it on the side. I was a full-time truck driver at the time, and I wasn't around business people. So I just say that because when I walked into the room, I was so nervous because it all these strangers, and they all seemed successful. And I sat down, and the thing about BNI is when I sat down, everyone in that room had a genuine interest in helping me get business, helping me get referrals. And it was genuine. And they made me feel like I was part of their family. And before that meeting was over, I was filling out an application. That was 22 years ago. And I'm just as passionate about this organization now as I was then when I found it. So there it is. That's BNI.
That's BNI for you. Yeah. So obviously, the big elephant in the room is why would the chamber be having a BNI chapter? There is collaboration and there's overlap between us, but there's also two different values here. So the chamber, we have networking events. You go, you pass business cards, you meet people. You occasionally meet a good strategic partner. You also meet community leaders. There's so many other things that happen within chamber events. And it's not really you're showing up with the intent to give a referral to a partner that you have in the room that you meet every single week. And that's the real difference that makes BNI to help grow your business so much differently than a chamber ever can.
Yeah, and so your question to me is, what's the difference between BNI and the chamber? And when I was explaining BNI a minute ago, I was talking about my experience, but what BNI is, it is a referral network where we allow one person per profession into each group. And the primary focus is to help the members get referrals. The focus of the chamber is not that. The focus of the chamber is to build relationships with the other business, and they will develop into referral relationships. But it's funny, I meet people from the chamber, CEOs of chambers and chamber directors, and some of them love us and some of them hate us. And it's funny that one woman, and I won't say the name of the chamber, it was a long time ago, but she said, I brought my brother, we were in a travel club together, and I brought him to join the chamber. And I said, if you ever want someone to talk about networking, I'm happy to do a luncheon and share my experience. And she said, you can do that as long as you don't talk about BNI. And I said, why do you do it? Why does it have to be BNI or the chamber? Why can't it be both? And she said, Tony, I've lost members from my chamber over to BNI. And I go, but look, I pointed at myself, I go, BNI, and I pointed at my brother, I go, BNI brought a member to join the chamber. I go, and there's 1,100 of us in Northeast Ohio. It should be a working relationship. The chamber can't do what BNI can do, and BNI can't do what the chamber can do. It shouldn't be one or the other. It should be both.
All right, Jim. You came a long distance to build a chapter in Parma.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little about your story?
Okay, absolutely. I grew up in Cleveland. I moved out to San Diego, and I was out there for 26 years. One of my key successes for business was BNI. It was first I started out doing regular networking at the chambers and things like that. They had other kind of pseudo networking groups, but then somebody introduced me to BNI, and it was just an amazing. My business went like this. Those 30 or so members became like family. They were my best friends. There was no way that I could think about insurance and not think of that person in the group that did insurance. There's just no way. Christmas parties, all this stuff. So these people become your best friends. So anyway, coming back here, I noticed there was a giant gap between Independence and Brooklyn for BNI. So I just decided to go ahead and let's give it a try and start up a new group and get it going, get all that magic, make all the magic happen again.
That's awesome. What are some organizations that you see, Tony, throughout the years that really thrive at a BNI? I mean, obviously you're going to say all of them.
No, it's not all of them. No.
But yes, okay, good. You're going to be honest with us.
I'm always, yeah. I'm always honest. I'm a realist. My job in BNI is to sell visitors on why they should become members. But I'll tell you, I've seen both. I've seen members come in the room that don't get any business whatsoever, and I've seen people come in the room as a visitor and get 6 or 7 referrals. I've seen both, and I know the key to success in BNI. Now, some professions can walk into the room and just instantly get business. A lot of tradespeople, your auto mechanics, your printer can walk into the room and get business just by visiting. I had a roofer call me one day. I'm still to this day, I've never met the guy. And he called me up and he said, Tony, we visited your whatever chapter it was. I think it was Solon. And he goes, we walked in as a visitor. We got 6 referrals visiting. He goes, I want to know every chapter that has an opening for a roofer. And I'm like, you got it. And then, take that story, and there's another one. There's Roger Bundy, who's an attorney in BNI, who told me his very first year in BNI, he didn't get 1 referral. And if you think about it, with certain tradespeople, you don't need too much trust. Like with my product, I way back when I was in the air purifier business, I walked in as a visitor, I got 3 referrals. You didn't need much trust in Tony. Like if the product worked, we'll buy it. We don't care. Other things like your attorney, your financial planners, your insurance agents, right? Like your CPA. It's going to take time to develop that trust. Right. But the professions that I see do really well, it's not the profession, it's the person. I had a business coach one day told me, he goes, I was in BNI for a year. We were sitting over at Panera Bread. He goes, I was at BNI for a year. And he goes, I didn't get anything out of that chapter. It was one of our top producing chapters. We have in Northeast Ohio, we have 53 chapters just in Northeast Ohio, which is why Jim is starting his own chapter because he's locked out. He can't get in. But this particular chapter was one of their top producing chapters. Business coach says, I didn't get anything out of that group. And I just started laughing. And he goes, what's so funny? I go, you. I go, it was because of you. You were the problem. And he goes, how was I the problem? I said, you had a group of 37, 40 people in the room, and you always sat outside the circle. You sat outside the circle, and you kept your arms folded like this during the whole meeting. When the meeting was over, you'd leave. You never attended any of their social events. You never interacted. You acted as if though you were better than everyone that was there. You know what he said? I am better than everybody that's there. And I kept laughing. I go, that's why you failed at BNI. People that do well are the ones that we have a motto in BNI. It's a 2-word motto. Jim, what is it?
Giver's gain.
Giver's gain. People that have the giver's gain mentality. People that walk into the room to serve the other members. In other words, to look out for the other people are the ones that do the best in BNI. If you come in to a BNI meeting and become a member and think like, what can these people do for me? You might get a few referrals. It's not going to last because people you get to know, like, and trust the members in a group. Just because I become a member of this chapter doesn't mean I'm going to get any business. I have to earn your trust. I have to get you to like me. I have to get you to know me well. And if you don't know me, if you don't trust me, you're not going to get my business, or you're not going to give me your business. So.
Absolutely. So going on to that, if you think about going back to why is the chamber doing this? We have 3 members on our board that are very high on BNI. I being one. And 2 others.
Dottie.
And, yes.
Yeah, I love Dottie.
And Connie. And they say that BNI helps them every week and in so many ways. And so it's one of those things like you reached out about becoming a member. Yes, let's join this because we have leadership in our chamber that sees value in both.
Yeah.
Like we obviously are leaders, so we devote a lot of time to the chamber, but we also devote a good amount of time to BNI because they both bring value. So how does someone become a member, Jim?
They can contact me. Our meetings are every Friday at 7 o'clock at the Denny's at 8111 Day Drive, right behind the old Parma town there. Or they can give me a call at 440-656-5333.
And it is 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m., yes.
They are morning meetings.
You
yes.
always have to clarify because
And-
sometimes people go, oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was p.m.
And we promise you'll be out of there by 8:30
Yes.
and to work by 9.
Here's who we're looking for in BNI. This is the type of person that we want in BNI. People that are hungry for business, people that are team players, people who are committed, and people that have a positive attitude. That's it. So if you don't need the business, BNI is not for you. If you can't be there on a weekly basis, probably say that when we're there. But that's the 4 triggers or the 4 criteria we look for in BNI. Hungry for business, people that are looking for more referrals, people that have a positive, supportive attitude, people are committed to being there each week, and people that are team-minded, team players. Because Jim can't do this alone. We seriously, we need people to help build this so we can launch. The chapter I was at yesterday was Tuesday. The chapter I was at Tuesday. I held up their report. They passed $2.1 million in closed business in the last 12 months, and I see that all the time. So the faster we get Jim's chapter up and running, the faster these members can start benefiting from their closed business.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for becoming members of the chamber. We look forward to continuing this partnership to help each other grow and become better in the community.
This was fun.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Chris.
having us in here.
All right. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or information, what was that email? The website again for the BNI?
Well, it's BNI Northeast Ohio.
BNI Northeast Ohio. Make sure you check out.
Go to BNINEO.com is our Northeast Ohio site.
Yes, check it out. See if there's a chapter nearby. You can sign up and just visit a chapter near you or near your office or whatever, and take a look.
We need some strong professions for the Parma.
For Parma, yeah.
We're going to launch the
Absolutely.
chapter with 20 members. We're just a seed of a group right now. We've got, I think, 6 members right now.
6.
So what are some professions we're looking for right now?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, we're looking for estate planning attorney. We're looking for HVAC. We're looking for all of the trades.
Health insurance, right?
Health insurance.
Commercial insurance we need?
No, we've commercial insurance. We've got PNC already.
Okay.
Yep.
And all the trades we need. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
What a great opportunity. Right here in Parma, right here at Denny's. Wake up in the morning, go over, have a cup of coffee with Jim, and get some referrals. All right.